welcome to the Narrowing Path, walking the spiritual walk. My name is Steve Van Eiderstein, and thank you for joining me today on March 6th for the daily reading from James Allen's Daily Meditations. And I'm excited about the 6th today to see where it takes us. It's been a great couple of days already. This whole year's been fantastic. So I'm glad, and I appreciate everybody that's joining us on this daily reading journey we got going on here. I really appreciate it. So let's see what March 6th has to offer us, and then we can go ahead and I'll give you my genuine reactions, responses, observations, and what I relate to about the reading, because this will be fresh to you and fresh to me. I mean, I haven't read it before, so that's what always makes this fun for me anyway, because I don't know what I'm going to be running into and what I'm going to be talking about, or how I'm going to be talking about it. Some of it's new, some of it's old, some of it's a refresher, some of it's an absolutely different way of thinking. So, it's you get to hear me go through it real quick live, which is good. It's good for me too. Keeps it fun. So, here we go. This is March 6th of James Allen's Daily Meditations. Man is the doer of his own deeds. As such, he is the maker of his own character. Those things which befall a man are the reflections of himself. That destiny which pursued him, which he was powerless to escape by effort or avert by prayer, was the relentless ghoul of his own wrong deeds, demanding and enforcing restitution. Those blessings and curses which come to him unbidden are the reverberating echoes of the sounds which he himself set forth. Man finds himself involved in the train of causation. His life is made up of causes and effects. It is both a sowing and a reaping. Each act of his is a cause which must be balanced by its effects. He chooses the cause. This is free will. He cannot choose, alter, or avert the effect. This is fate. Thus, free will stands for the power to initiate causes, and destiny is involvement in effects. Character is destiny. Wow. It's kind of... Sometimes I'll read one of these and it just is so true, which I know seems a ridiculous statement almost, but it's just so true and so honest, I guess, maybe. And the reality of it is, this one's pretty simple. Like this is a relatively simple reading today. I mean, he stretches it out and gives some explanation to it, but it's pretty straightforward. We take the actions we choose to take, which then forms our character, which then forms our destiny. Right? So this isn't some obtuse concept to grasp. It's the honest truth, and it's almost got this a karmic, or I don't know if that's the right conjugation of karma, but karma-based logic in it. But it's more so not necessarily in a cosmic kind of idea of like what the energy you put out is the energy you'll get back in the abstract sense. This is a very real way of stating you reap what you sow. And it's just, he's right. I look back in my own experience, and this always has been proven to be correct. It's been proven to be correct and also consistent. That's the pain about it, isn't it? Like, it will come to fruition. The truth will be known, right? It will be exposed or come to the surface, and you will reap your own just rewards, based on your own actions. It's just true. And it's a reminder that if you continue to keep doing the right things, things will change for you. Take the right actions, the actions that are placed ahead of you, and doing the right things and the healthy things and living a spiritual way of life will pay off in the long run. Just sometimes you don't even see the results quick enough to give you that emotional motivation, and that's when it comes down to discipline, and it comes down to faith. So, I've talked long enough. Let's go ahead. We'll revisit the reading now. And it opens up with the statement, "Man is the doer of his own deeds. As such, he is the maker of his own character." Right? This is something that, again, has been proven for me. Your character that is presented to the outside world is really based upon the deeds that you are embodying, right? The choices that you're making. Like there's a lot of people that give lip service to the right thing to do, but what do your actions say about you? What are you actually doing, right? That's pretty impactful. That's very impactful for a guy like me. Because I used to talk a good game, but I could never back it up with action. All right, it goes on in the main body of it to say, "Those things which befall a man are reflections of himself." So what you put out there is what you'll get back. Reap what you sow. Again, I think he uses those words actually later on, right? And we're not talking about the random life events that occur necessarily, right? We're not talking about, someone passing away by natural causes in your life, or someone just passing away, right? Like, we're not talking about those types of things. Because life happens. We live in a temporary world, but I'm saying more so like the consequences of the actions you make. It might not be immediate, but eventually you will have to pay the piper for those. Eventually all the guilt and the shame will be yours to hold, and a lot of the times there will be consequences, very real consequences to these things, whether it's on your physical health, your mental health, or you just get found out in a way that you didn't want to be discovered or whatnot. These are really very real things. Things that befall a man are the reflections of himself. You get to see yourself by what's occurring in your life, right? So take an honest look at what's going on around you, where you're at. It'll tell you more about yourself than you realize. And watch it change as you change your actions. It's as simple as that a lot of times. Which blows my mind, because I thought I was a hopeless individual. And I just started changing my actions, and suddenly my whole life changed. Seems simple enough now, but then that was quite a foreboding request. That destiny which pursued him, which he was powerless to escape by effort or avert by prayer, was the relentless ghoul of his own wrong deeds, demanding and enforcing restitution. These are the things that's coming back to haunt you necessarily. These are the things, that are coming back to the surface that you have tried to avoid, that you thought you got away with. You thought you could just suffer through, or you weren't going to have to suffer through, but now they come back. These things you couldn't escape by effort or avert by prayer. They are almost always, if not always, the results of your own actions. You've put yourself in that position. That was a hard thing for me to stomach. He goes on to say, those blessings and curses which come to him unbidden are the reverberating echoes of the sounds which he himself set forth. Again, this is us coming back to stare us in the face. Our actions are where we meet ourselves, or our circumstances, our life circumstances are where we meet ourselves, isn't it? It's a pretty good check. It's a pretty good check of where you're at and what you're doing. He goes on to say, man finds himself involved in the train of causation. If you take an honest look, honest self-reflection and inventory of these things, of how your life got to where it is, how you're ended up in a specific situation, how you became the victim of whatnot, maybe. Take an honest look at these things. What was your involvement? What were you trying to get out of this? Right? It's, when I look at my life, and all, because I've had to do a lot of inventory to clean up my past, a lot of self-reflection, and a lot of honesty before I could heal and stand up again. And I found that I was my own worst enemy every single time. Every single time. His life is made up of causes and effects. It is both a sowing and a reaping, right? So we're made up of our life is made up of beginnings and ends. The planting of a seed and the reaping of a harvest. Every time, too. Remember this, every time. Not just with good, not just with bad, for good and bad. For every decision and every action you're planting, and every thing you have planted, you will reap. Keep that in mind as you go throughout the day. As you go throughout your lives, your moments. It's very true. It's been very, very true. Each act of his is a cause which must be balanced by its effects. He's saying here that this is a mandatory thing almost. Like there has to be a cause, or there has to be an effect if there is a cause. If there is a beginning, or if there is an action taken, this is the cause. There will be an effect. And everything that you do, every movement you make, every thought you think, and every word you say will have an effect. And that's been true in my life. When you realize everything matters, I can't stress that enough, just how true that statement is. Everything matters. When you realize these things, it's pretty important. And you start to see the effects it has. So, he chooses the cause. This is free will. You choose the actions. You choose your thoughts. You choose your actions. That is free will. That right there is free will. He cannot choose, alter, or avert the effect. This is fate. This is your reaping. Fate is the reaping of your own actions. Fate is the reaping of your free will. Thus, free will stands for the power to initiate causes, and destiny is the involvement in effects. So, free will stands for the power to initiate causes. You will build the life around you. You will build the life that your actions bring in. It seems so simple. But yet, it took me so long to get that. Again, I was the victim of my own selfishness and self-centeredness, of my own emotions, of my own actions. I was the victim of my own actions so many times. Free will stands for the power to initiate causes, and destiny is involved in effects. So your free will, your choices, determine your destiny. Obvious, right? But not so obvious when you look at what we do from day to day. We grasp it intellectually, but we don't necessarily believe it in our hearts. And this is why it ends with character is destiny. How you conduct yourself in every way determines the destiny you'll have. You will reap in every way what you sow. Very, very powerful stuff to actually take to heart, to take to strict belief and move forward with. Remember this as you go throughout your day. Character is destiny. So I'll go ahead and end it there. It was a long one today. Thanks for sticking with me. I appreciate it. And we'll continue on with tomorrow with March 7th. Today was a great one. I'm curious to see what the follow-up is for the 7th. And we will continue on this journey together. So until next time, thanks.